Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. We are today live from Transform as we promised. So today we actually happen to have this amazing setup here so that we can give you the vibe and the feeling of the conference even from your desk. And I have with me today dear Dan Riley. And this is going to be our second, right?
This will be our second
Second of
official
the
live. Yeah,
series.
second
Yes.
of the series. Yes, yes. Yeah, this is amazing. It's quiet here right now. So we're in the expo hall for those who are tuning in from around the world. We're looking out at the expo hall that'll be just jam packed with people in probably a couple of hours.
Yeah. In
And
maybe even like in
yeah,
an hour.
even less.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, we want to be live. We want to share some thoughts, just kind of our experience so far. It's been an amazing event, and I would love to start thinking about a word that I know Samara, who's the GM and the co-founder of Transform, uses a lot, and that's the vibe of the event.
Yeah. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about the vibe of the
And
event.
me being an ambassador, because I'm an ambassador for Transform, so I cannot be maybe objective about this, but these are my like true feelings, and that's the reason why I decided to become an ambassador in the first place. And so this is also some message to any of you, especially in Europe. We are looking for more ambassadors in more locations. And the feeling that I have from this event is so, although it's big, I mean, this is a big event. So this is like huge. Like we have thousands of people coming from all around the world. I think Samara was saying we have now more than 30 countries
Yes.
being represented here now actively and Transform. But the feeling is more cozy. So it's not like, it doesn't feel distant. There's
Yeah.
this community feeling, and I think that's why we have the community. I mean, not many conferences have a community, but now we have the community of ambassadors, we have the Transform community, we have a platform. That platform is also going to be revamped. So the feeling that I get from this event is the connections and the level of connections. People are so open-minded. People are so open to making connections. So like
Yeah.
even if you're like, I'm here, like I would not say alone because I have my friends, obviously. But the thing is, like even if you come here by yourself, it's so easy to blend in, to just
Yeah.
like make those connections. So I think it's all about the connections. It's all about that, safe place to express your ideas and also to learn more. The quality of the content
Yes.
is amazing, mind blowing. I
Yes.
have been hearing a lot and learning a lot from this.
Yeah, for sure. And I can't wait to get into some of that quality of the content. And I do want to just also say, for those who haven't been to a Transform event, um, we've all been to big conferences, or many of you likely have been to big conferences. But the difference here is definitely, it's a very safe place. Number one, there's a comfort and a feeling of connection, and friendships are built very quickly here. Um, it's at, if anyone hasn't figured it out yet, I guess we didn't say this. We are in Las Vegas.
True.
And it's at a hotel called the Wynn. And I'm saying that because it was a very intentional choice for Transform too. They wanted a hotel that was low key, had green outside, so really felt like a sanctuary to some degree. And I know Samara had mentioned to me a couple of times, well, this was really important. We wanted to create an environment where we didn't feel too like we were locked into a big conference room, but there was just the energy of the outside, and then the connectivity that we build, and just the great ideas, and the networking is so easy. And I will also say, for those listening and getting ready to spend the day here, whether you're an extrovert or you're an introvert or you're quiet, starting up a conversation is so easy.
Yeah.
And just
Exactly.
and so I urge everybody to do that. And I don't think I've seen a single case, and I haven't seen a single case or a single person that I've talked to or has come up to me, where it wasn't really a positive interaction, and I would learn something, and hopefully that person I was talking
Sure.
to learned something.
What I liked a lot this year is that they have, because I didn't realize that, and I was giving that feedback to the team as well, that they have dedicated now not sessions, but like, slots, time slots, so that you can network. Like the lunches, yesterday it was like for 2 hours. Today is going to be
Yes.
an hour and a half, giving you some time for networking. There's also in the morning sessions, in between the morning sessions, I think we have like 45 minutes for networking,
Yeah.
so that you don't get into FOMO, because I get into FOMO because the content is so good that
Yeah.
I want to make it to all of them.
Well, they have a cloning device in the back of the room. I don't know if you've seen this new tech, so you can actually,
You can call
yeah,
yourself.
yeah. I mean, there's like a 10% chance of
If you come to
success.
Transform,
I'm
you
not gonna
get-
say who the vendor is yet, because they're still working on it. But
that's an amazing idea. That would
Isn't
be
it?
an amazing idea for event organizers.
It's a
because
great
because you
movie
cannot
idea,
be
too.
in all of the rooms. So
Yeah.
what if you had a clone? By the way, I saw one of the sessions. I think it was sponsored by Texio.
Okay, yeah.
Did you get that? I mean, because I think I signed up for that.
Mm-hmm.
I received a summary for the session, which I thought was a great idea.
Yeah.
Because even if you miss it, like the key points, what
Yeah.
was discussed. So I really love that. So that's an idea for the event organizers. I mean, if you're and I'm an event organizer, so I'm always like looking for those little things. But if you're an event organizer, that's something that I loved. So you can just like have AI summaries for your events and for the session. So if people cannot make it, they can at least like read the summary. What were some of the things that stood out for you?
Yeah, I mean, so I think so. I'm going to start out and kind of, as they say, the expression, the elephant in the room. Of course, we're talking about AI, and it's a theme that comes up. But I will say this: I've heard there's been a lot of, I think, really healthy conversations that haven't just been focused on, we need to be afraid of it, we need to fear it, it's coming for our jobs, or we don't trust it. It's in more of an acceptance that it's here, right? It's a tool for us to use. We have to be intentional about how we use it. And these are themes that I've heard in a handful of the sessions. But it's also the relationship between humans and machines that are ultimately going to be successful in the long run. So I think that theme has been for me, being a technology, passionate about technology, building an AI company. The fact that we are being reminded around the importance of humans in the equation, and the power of connectivity amongst humans, in partnership with AI as an incredible tool, and trying to reduce fears through knowledge and awareness. So I think the more we understand, the more we use it, the more we recognize what it can do, how it can speed things up, how it can reduce tasks that we're working on, which actually helps give us a path forward from a skills development standpoint. So so to me, there's been a lot of talk about that, a lot of themes are about that. So that's one key theme that I've been hearing in a lot of the sessions.
There was one speaker, coming back to your point about how to integrate both. There was one speaker who mentioned the AI plus HI, which is the human intelligence,
yes,
equals ROI. So that's
clever.
I love it. So AI plus HI makes
ROI.
So that's the key, because like when we are talking with the companies, they're always on the look for like the AI tools. How should we integrate AI? But they have to strategize in a way that they are also involving their human intelligence, their human capital, and just integrate, making their lives better.
Yes.
And so what I have been seeing in this expo area and the discussions is that everyone's now focusing more on the human side. Because AI is already here.
It's
now
here,
it's not
and
the
it's
future.
been here for a long time. And that's the thing. I think it's moving faster, and it's in our lives like it's never been before. But AI has been, around.
Since 50s.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of and that's there is a little has to be some awareness around that. But yeah, I agree, and I love that. Yeah, I love that. So AI plus HI
HI
equals
equals
ROI.
ROI.
Yeah,
Love
there
it.
you go. I mean, I don't know who said
That's
that. We should probably give them
I had it in my
credit.
notes.
You
Yeah,
had it, yeah. So it will when we post this, we'll actually
We'll-
give that credit because we can't take
For
credit
sure,
for that
yeah.
quote. So yeah, that's one theme. There's a few others I've been seeing, but what other themes have?
mental health.
Yeah, I was going to go there. Look, and we're
Definitely.
ripping here. We're this is a newscast that's just purely a rip, and that was the next
We
theme
did
I was
not-
going to talk about.
We did not discuss anything about the details of what we would talk about. This is just like purely casual. We're just like going with the flow. And I love how you also thought that mental health was another topic.
Yes.
And it's going to be the thing for the next couple of years at least. Because I
Yeah.
think it's going to be employers' responsibility to take care of the mental health of their employees.
Yeah.
It's not something that it's like, nice to have, because it was like something that they were seeing as nice to have. It is a must-have thing right now because
Yeah.
everyone's so much burned out because of the pace. Everything is so fast. They have to just like keep up with so many things. They have to upskill, reskill, be fast, get things done, learn AI, learn this, learn that. But let's keep it slow.
Yes.
Let's keep the pace. It's now we are coming. I think we're going in a better direction right now in terms
Yeah.
of mental health and how we care about our own well-being.
Yeah, and our own happiness.
Exactly.
I mean, that's and I think that there is.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because tomorrow is the World Happiness Day.
Is it World Happiness
Yes,
Day
it's
tomorrow?
the World Happiness Day. So we should be talking about more happiness.
I didn't know that. I didn't look at this right in the air. I didn't know that was
It
happening
is.
tomorrow.
I just delivered the happiness workshop this morning.
So you would know that. Yeah, no, I agree, and I think the theme of it's okay not being okay, right? I think that's an important just for anybody listening. Yeah. And what I mean by that, and when I say that is raise your hand and you hope you're in an organization around people that can at least be aware that look, I can't give 100% today. I can't give 60% today. And I think understanding the difference, and I don't think we need to get too granular here, but between burnout and mental health, there's similarities, but obviously they are different things as we know. Someone once told me, a great expert on this topic, he said, burnout is something that if you go to Hawaii and unplug for 2 weeks and do nothing but sit on the beach and you come back and you still feel the same, it wasn't burnout. If you come back feeling better, then it might have been burnout, just exhaustion.
True.
Mental health is something where we do need help, and it needs to be a benefit. Those listening, that isn't just a nice to have, but like you said, it's absolutely necessary, and it needs to be tailored to what individuals need.
And I'm so glad that we're seeing more startups, more businesses focusing on just coming up with ideas and providing solutions, even with AI. I was talking to, because I was at the Founders and Founders reception last night.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a founder. They are doing AI coaching. So they are coaching the managers with AI. And I love the idea. Because the thing is, how many coaches can you have for your organization? But with this one, they're also like coaching the managers. They're putting that extra pressure off their shoulders because the managers and HR people, they're the ones who have the most pressure on their shoulders. And because like everyone's expecting something from them.
Yeah.
To just like, find the solutions. And coming back to sometimes it's okay not to be okay, and it's always okay not to know things, not to know everything. A manager cannot know everything and shouldn't have that pressure on him.
No, it's a lot of pressure. I always use the analog or analogy of the oxygen mask on an airplane. You need to breathe, be able to breathe before you take care of others. There's this misconception that managers should be immune to to mental health or burnout. which is a crazy thought, right? I mean, they're
They're human.
human. They're human.
They're not
And
androids.
so I do love that that theme for sure. There's some great vendors. So if you're here, do walk around the hall and check out some of and I love it because there's more startup companies here doing really
Exactly.
cool stuff.
Exactly.
There might not be companies that you've always heard of. There's of course some here that you probably have, but spend some time here, asking questions, and I think you'll see some really incredible work and passion, thinking about
And
mental
at
health
all scales, like
at
there
all
are
scales. Yeah,
there are companies at all scales. Yesterday, I had a conversation with two women. It's a podcast brand that they are now starting, and their
Yeah.
first episode they just released the trailer one, and today is going to be the first episode. And they're here, like they have a booth, and it was
Yeah.
amazing to have that conversation to talk about our common challenges being a woman. So there's even a vendor doing a podcast. So at all sizes, what matters to all of them is to make people's lives, the employees' life, better.
yeah. I love that, and I love the celebration of women in business here too. There's every conference I think does doing an okay job at that, but Transform is really doing a fantastic job at that, celebrating that.
It's what it
And-
name says, like transform. You really
Yeah,
get
yeah.
transformed. It's like a transformation. And
Yeah.
that's why I really like the conversations that we're having here. And like, two optimists, like
Yes,
sitting
we
there,
are.
we're always like talking about these good things, but it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's only going to be this optimism, and we are really going in a better direction. So you shouldn't have that, the fear. Everyone's just so much scared of AI, but AI is going to make our lives better. That's for sure, because it's going to take away all the redundant processes, all the things that you were tired of doing and didn't add any value being a human. Now it's the era of understanding the value, the real value of being a human.
So maybe let's the final section. Let's talk about that a little bit, and it was one of the third themes, and I think we could tie it to that, which was any new technology that you're leveraging or bringing into an organization has to be done with what human behavior are you solving for, right? And so with intentionality, not just because it's cool tech, we should use this tech. What's the problem statement? What are we trying to solve for? So always strategy first, technology second. If you lead with tech without, well, what does success look like? You might have a cool tech, but ultimately adoption is low, value to individual teams, organization, ROI is low. But if you start with, here's our problem, here's what we're working to do, and we're bringing in this technology, whether it be something that's more AI focused, automation, digital, being super intentional about why you're leveraging technology. And that's been a theme that I've seen in a handful of panel sessions as well. So with AI, I agree with you. I completely agree with you. For those who are fearful, what would be your, how would you help reduce some of those fears? If you're having a conversation with somebody and they're like, this AI stuff, I don't get it, I don't understand it, it's going to take my job, and like if someone said that
now
to you,
there's a famous saying. They say that AI is not going to take your job. The people who know how to use AI well, they are going to take your job. So that's the thing. You cannot go upstream. You have to go with the stream. If you try not to use AI, if you're scared of AI, if you're just skeptical about AI, then you're going upstream. And there's no way that you can just make your way upstream. You have to go. So yesterday I was at a session, Lars Schmidt.
Lars, I guess, yeah. And if Lars, you see this,
if you're just
I haven't seen you yet. I'm gonna give you a hug.
I said hi.
Okay, good.
So Lars was saying, if you are not using it enough, like every day, just spend half an hour, 10 minutes with AI. Learn how you can just work with it. And when I had that Bloomberg live stream, the broadcast news broadcast last week in Turkey, I was saying, make your AI your buddy.
Yes.
Have your AI as a buddy. And just like, have this good relationship with AI to make
Yeah.
your life easier. Why would you not have the comfort of
Yes.
using your friend, your buddy, to take care of the things that you don't enjoy doing?
Yes. Well, and it's funny, next week will be, there's some data that we have and that we'll be releasing, but just a couple sound bites from it. We reached out to 3,000 or 4,000 people in partnership with Question Pro, who you
Yep.
know. And one of the findings, what we asked is, are you fearful that AI will take your job? And those who are actually more fearful that it might are also those who use it. So, so it was really interesting. So, knowledge
Really
and
interesting.
understanding actually allows you actually understand the power that it has. Now, it isn't fearful, and I think that these individuals aren't fearful that I don't have a career anymore. They just recognize that, wow, this can start to take, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50% of my daily tasks, because I understand it. I get it. I'm using it. I'm learning it. That's awareness. So immediately that's an opportunity, being an optimist, to recognize. So directionally, I can continue to navigate my career, my work journey this way. Now, if on the other hand, if you don't really care about it, you don't believe it, like, no, it's got it, maybe I'm fearful, but I don't really get it, so it's never going to take my job. It can't. It's just computers. We know that's a falsehood too. So that our data is really interesting, and we'll dig deeper into it next week. We're doing a webinar on it. It's very similar to what you were just
exactly
saying.
what I was going to say. Because if you're in your comfort zone, there's no growth or learning there.
Yeah.
So AI is going to take you out of your comfort zone, and being out of your comfort zone is something good. So that means you're in the growth zone.
Yes.
So because from fear zone, you just in order to transform,
Yes.
you have to get into the learning zone, the growth zone.
It's growth. Yeah. I mean, think about if you're an athlete and you're fearful of doing something, you start to try it, you start to do it. Doesn't mean you're going to be an expert at it right away, but you recognize, I can get better now because I'm starting to learn. My body's starting to adapt. I'm recognizing, every time I do that, I fall a little bit. So now I'm going to adjust. But you don't get to that level of change if you don't start to move past fear and get into that learning.
Exactly.
And I think so. I really, so this data was really fascinating, and I love, and we haven't talked about this, and the fact that it just picked up on what you're seeing as well. So
Yeah,
I think that's an important theme that we're seeing here as well.
It's all about adaptability. And I mean,
Yeah.
there's AQAI, another vendor here, and they're assessing your adaptability. It's like, if you're adaptable to change, no matter what the change is, whether it be like AI, it used to be internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
30 years ago, 40 years ago, it was the internet. And because we
Yeah.
have dark web, doesn't mean that internet is something, bad. So we have to acknowledge the power of AI and how it can make our lives better, and how we can just use it in a better way, so that we are just using our existing skills and we are upskilling them and creating ourselves a better version of ourselves. It's like we're upgrading ourselves. It's like hitting the update button on Apple Store. Update me, update yourself, take the responsibility. That's what's happening. And people find it hard to take the responsibility, because in the old days, the companies would ask them to take this training, or to just be this or that, to have the skill, so that they can just get promoted, to get higher pay. But now it's up to you. If you don't take that responsibility, no one's going to do that for you.
Yes, and I think I've been quoted, for those knowing me, and I think when you and I chatted last, I said this, change is about momentum, right? There is no, especially now with everything happening around us, and AI, new technology, there isn't some arrival. You never arrive and say, well, okay, I've learned everything I need to know. And any organization going through change, it isn't this point of arrival. It's a really dangerous way to think about progression. But it's momentum, it's movement. And movement requires constant learning. It requires reducing fears, building connection and trust in the workplace, driving happiness in the workplace, creating happiness and joy in the workplace. So this event, to start to wrap this up, really is a community that believes in that. Believes in all of those
And
things.
you can see it in the eyes of every attendee. They are
Yes.
here for that, to make an impact so that this world becomes a better place for everyone.
Well said. Well said. So I just first want to thank the Transform team for allowing us to use this incredible booth setup here.
backdrop and
very
everything.
excited about that. And if you're here, enjoy the last day and the big Timbaland is playing tonight. For those who
If
might
you're
be
here,
listening.
you have to come. You have
Yes.
to come to the closing party. It's amazing.
Yes. And if you're not here, well, we'll on our next podcast we'll sing some of his music.
I'm not sure about myself. You can take that.
Oh, all right. That is
Being a musician, it's like I'll leave it to you.
Any final words that you have for
So,
audience?
for those of you who are listening to us, who are watching us, say you might be watching us later, not live. For next year, please stay tuned for the new days. I don't think that they announced the dates yet for next year.
It is announced, and I did see it. I don't want to say the date and get it wrong.
Okay,
Yeah,
but it is announced.
It is announced. It is in March again.
Okay.
I think it's 20 in the 20s. So we'll
Okay.
we'll
stay
actually
tuned.
note it.
It's
We'll note it.
actually a better reason for you to come and see.
Yes.
And just like you can go to the website and see what the dates are for next year.
Yes.
I strongly recommend that you come next year, see the vibe, because you have to be immersed in this to understand what
Yeah.
we're talking about. Without experiencing it, this is beyond words. That's one thing. And just make sure that you are taking good care of yourself. That's it. Nothing matters more than your mental health and your well-being.
That's kind of mic drop statement right there. The only thing I will just say is Transform, and it's more than just an event. It's more than just all of us coming together. It's a community, and it's a community that believes in something bigger than themselves and supports each other. And as you said, taking care of yourself is has to be our number one priority. We get one chance at this, one chance at living a happy life, and so do take care of yourself. That's
And happy International Happiness Day.
yes. Yes, and
Make sure that you hug your loved ones and eat chocolate. Those are the things that are like increasing our hormones, releasing the hormones. Spend time in outdoors, exercise. What else? But spending time with your loved ones and singing.
Yeah, I would say some people like going on walks, going on runs. Maybe you want to spend time with your dog, maybe, or your cats, or maybe you just
if you don't have it, just like find one on the street and just find a baby.
Or you just want to stream Netflix all day and that makes you happy. Go for it. Well, thank you.
Thank you. This was, again, I enjoy these conversations so much. We have to keep doing this.
Yes, we will, and we'll just take this whole backdrop with us. I think it's been offered to us. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the last day of Transform. Have an amazing day. Enjoy tonight. Again, those tuning in, take care of yourself. Be good. Enjoy International Happiness Day.
And have an amazing rest of your days.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.